Have you ever noticed how exhausting it is to constantly prepare for things that haven't even happened? To replay conversations long after they're over, to imagine futures that may never arrive, to tighten your chest trying to prevent outcomes you cannot control. What if the anxiety you feel isn't because life is unstable, but because you are trying to stabilize what was never meant to stay still? Many people believe peace comes from control, from planning better, thinking harder, predicting faster. But the more tightly you grip life, the more it slips through your hands, and the mind never rests. Buddhist wisdom offers a quieter truth. Suffering does not come from uncertainty itself, it comes from resisting it. There are things you can influence, and there are things you simply cannot. When you stop confusing the two, something inside you softens. In this reflection, you will explore 6 powerful lessons to help you release overthinking, accept what you cannot control, and finally begin living fully, not someday, but now. You don't need to change your whole life. You only need to loosen your grip. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Notice how control begins in the body. Before control becomes a thought, it is a feeling. Before the mind says, "I need to fix this," the body has already tightened, the jaw clenches, the shoulders rise, the stomach contracts, the breath becomes small and shallow. Control is not only mental, it is physical, and this is where suffering quietly starts. Many people believe overthinking is just something happening in the mind, but if you look closely, you will notice something different. Overthinking is the body trying to protect itself. It is tension disguised as problem solving. You are not actually planning, you are bracing for rejection, for loss, for uncertainty, for the possibility that things might not go the way you hoped. So the body says, hold tighter. But holding tighter does not make life safer, it only makes you tired. Buddhist practice often begins with something very simple, awareness of the body. Not because the body is separate from the mind, but because the body tells the truth faster. The mind can create stories, the body cannot. So tomorrow morning, or even right now, try something gentle. Pause. Do nothing for a moment. Notice your posture. Are you leaning forward as if preparing for impact? Are your shoulders lifted? Is your brow tense? Are you holding your breath without realizing? Don't try to change anything yet. Just notice. This noticing is already a form of freedom, because you cannot release what you do not see. Then slowly, take one deeper breath. Not forced, not dramatic, just slightly fuller. And as you exhale, allow your shoulders to drop. Allow your jaw to soften. Allow your hands to unclench. Nothing in your life has changed. Your responsibilities are still there. Your uncertainties are still there. And yet something is different. There is a little more space, a little less pressure. This is the first lesson. Control often begins as unconscious tension, and acceptance begins as relaxation. When the body feels safe, the mind stops searching for ways to control everything. Over time, this small practice changes how you move through your days. You start catching yourself earlier, before the spiral, before the worry grows. You notice the tightness and you breathe, again and again. Not forcing life to behave, simply allowing yourself to soften inside it. Happiness does not begin with solving every problem. It begins with unclenching. Lesson 2. Separate what is yours from what is not. Much of your exhaustion comes from carrying things that were never yours to hold. Other people's opinions, other people's moods, other people's choices, the future, the past, outcomes that depend on 100 invisible causes. Yet the mind insists, if I think about this enough, maybe I can control it. So you replay conversations. You imagine worst-case scenarios. You try to predict how everyone will feel. You try to manage how everyone sees you. And slowly, your inner world becomes crowded. But here is a quiet truth. Not everything that affects you belongs to you. Buddhist wisdom speaks often about the difference between action and attachment. You are responsible for your actions. You are not responsible for the entire universe. You can speak kindly, but you cannot control how someone interprets your words. You can prepare carefully, but you cannot control every outcome. You can love someone deeply, but you cannot control whether they stay. Trying to control these things is like trying to hold the wind. It only leaves your hands tired. Each morning, try this small reflection. Ask yourself, what is truly mine today? Not everything, just what is truly mine. Perhaps it is my effort, my attitude, my honesty, my presence, my choices in this moment. That's all. Notice how small that list is, and notice how light it feels. Then gently acknowledge the rest. Other people's reactions, not mine. The weather, not mine. Timing, not mine. The past, not mine. The future, not mine. You are allowed to care, but you are not required to control. There is a difference. Caring is open. Control is tight. Caring says, I will show up fully. Control says, everything must go my way. And one of these creates peace. The other creates fear. When you begin separating what is yours from what is not, something beautiful happens. You stop taking everything personally. You stop feeling responsible for everyone's happiness. You stop trying to design life perfectly. Instead, you focus on what you can actually touch. This moment, this breath, this choice. It may feel small at first, but small things done with awareness create deep stability. The mind becomes quieter, not because life is predictable, but because you are no longer trying to manage the unpredictable. Acceptance is not giving up. It is putting down what was never yours to carry, and suddenly your hands are free. Lesson 3. Stop rehearsing the future. There is a habit many people don't even realize they have. It happens silently, constantly. You imagine tomorrow, then the next week, then the next year. You rehearse conversations that haven't happened. You prepare answers to problems that don't exist. You play scenes of failure, of embarrassment, of loss, over and over, as if practicing pain will protect you from it. But notice something. Has worrying ever truly prevented what you fear? Or has it simply made you suffer twice? Once in imagination and once if it ever happens at all. The mind believes rehearsal equals safety, but in reality, rehearsal often steals the only moment you actually have. This one, right now. Buddhist teachings remind us that the future is a story, not reality. It does not exist yet, and yet we live inside it constantly. We sit at dinner but think about tomorrow's tasks. We walk outside but think about what might go wrong next week. We talk with someone we love but mentally argue with someone who isn't even there. Life passes, Not because time moves quickly, but because attention is somewhere else. Try something gentle. The next time you catch yourself mentally rehearsing the future, don't scold yourself. Just pause and quietly say, "Not now." Then return to something simple and real. The feeling of your feet on the ground, the sound of a bird, the warmth of your tea, the rhythm of your breath. These things are not dramatic, but they are alive. They are happening, they are real, and reality is always calmer than imagination. The future in your head is usually filled with problems. The present moment is usually just neutral, ordinary, manageable, safe. Over time, you will notice something surprising. When you stop rehearsing every possible outcome, you become more capable, not less. Because your energy is no longer scattered across imaginary scenarios. It is here, available, clear. Acceptance means trusting that when life happens, you will meet it then, not 10 times beforehand. You don't need to pre-suffer. You don't need to solve tomorrow today. You only need to live this breath fully and let tomorrow arrive on its own. Lesson 4. Make peace with impermanence instead of fighting it. There is a quiet struggle happening inside you that you may not even notice. It doesn't look dramatic. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It says, "This shouldn't change. This should last longer. Things were better before. What if I lose this? How do I make this stay?" And without realizing it, you spend much of your life trying to freeze the world in place, trying to hold on to moments, to people, to identities, to versions of yourself that no longer exist. But life has never agreed to stay still, not once. Buddhist wisdom teaches a simple, uncomfortable truth. Everything changes. Not some things, not only the bad things, everything. Your moods, your relationships, your health, your plans, your successes, your disappointments. Even the person you think you are right now is quietly shifting. Yet the mind resists this reality. It says, if I can just control things better, maybe nothing will fall apart. So you cling, you overthink, you monitor. You try to predict every possible loss before it happens, not because you are weak, but because you are afraid of pain. Clinging feels like protection, but in truth, it is what creates the pain. Imagine holding a handful of sand. If your hand is open, the sand rests gently in your palm. But if you squeeze tightly, trying to keep every grain, it slips through your fingers faster. Life is the same. The tighter you hold, the more anxious you feel. Because deep down, you know you cannot win this fight. Nothing stays, not even the good moments. And strangely, this is not something to fear. It is something that can soften you. Impermanence is not only the reason things end, it is also the reason things begin. If nothing changed, healing would never happen. Pain would never fade. New people would never enter your life. Growth would be impossible. The same truth that takes things away also brings new things forward. So instead of fighting change, you can learn to bow to it, gently. Each morning, try reflecting on this. Everything I love is temporary. This day is temporary. Even this breath is temporary. Not in a dark or hopeless way, but in a clarifying way. Because when you truly understand something is temporary, you stop trying to control it. You start appreciating it. When you know a conversation won't last forever, you listen more closely. When you know youth won't last forever, you move with more gratitude. When you know someone may not always be beside you, you speak more kindly. Impermanence doesn't steal meaning. It gives meaning. Without change, nothing would feel precious. For those who overthink, this lesson is especially powerful, because so much overthinking is really an attempt to prevent change. You replay the past, wishing it were different. You predict the future, trying to secure it. But both efforts are exhausting, because you are arguing with reality itself, and reality always wins. There is deep peace in saying, things will change, and I will let them. This doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. There is a difference. Caring is loving fully while it's here. Clinging is demanding it never leave. One is warm, the other is fearful. When something shifts in your life, a plan falling through, a relationship changing, a season ending, notice your first reaction. Does the body tighten? Does the mind protest? This shouldn't be happening. Instead of resisting, try whispering something softer. Of course, this is changing. Everything changes. Feel how those words loosen the chest just a little. Acceptance doesn't erase sadness. It doesn't erase disappointment. But it removes the extra layer of suffering, the fight. Pain is natural. Fighting reality is optional. Over time, this practice makes you lighter. You stop treating life like something fragile you must control. You start treating it like a river you are floating in, sometimes calm, sometimes rough, but always moving. And instead of gripping the water, you learn to float, trusting that whatever comes will also pass, and whatever leaves made space for something new. This is the quiet freedom of impermanence. Nothing to hold, nothing to chase, just this moment, arriving, changing, and gently moving on. Lesson 5. Let go of the story you keep telling yourself. There is something you carry with you every day that feels invisible, yet it shapes almost everything you experience. It is not your job, not your relationships, not your past. It is the story you tell yourself about your life, a quiet narration that runs in the background. This always happens to me. I'm bad at this. I should be further ahead. If I don't control everything, things fall apart. I can't relax until everything is solved. These sentences feel like facts, but they are not facts. They are stories, and the mind repeats them so often that they begin to feel permanent. In Buddhist teaching, there is a gentle reminder. Thoughts are events, not truths. They arise, they stay for a moment, and they pass, like clouds crossing the sky. But when you believe every thought completely, you stop seeing clouds. You start seeing the sky as broken. Overthinking often comes from this confusion. A single thought appears. What if I fail? And instead of letting it pass, the mind builds a whole world around it. You imagine consequences. You imagine judgment. You imagine loss. Soon, you are no longer sitting safely in your room or walking calmly down the street. You are trapped inside a movie created by your own mind, and your body reacts as if it's real. Heart racing, muscles tight, breath shallow, all because of a story, not reality. A story. This is why trying to control life feels so exhausting. You are not only responding to what is happening, you are responding to everything you imagine might happen. You are fighting ghosts. So this lesson invites something very simple, yet very freeing. Stop arguing with life and start questioning the story. The next time you feel overwhelmed, pause and gently ask, what am I telling myself right now? Not what is happening. But what story am I adding? Maybe the story is, if this doesn't work out, everything is ruined. Or, they must think I'm incompetent. Or, I'll never figure this out. Notice how absolute these sound. Everything, never, always. The mind loves extremes, but life is rarely extreme. Life is usually messy, uncertain, and somewhere in between. Instead of believing the story immediately, try treating it like a passing sound, something you hear but don't have to follow. You might say quietly, "This is just a thought, not a prophecy, not reality, just a thought." Feel the difference. When you believe the thought, it controls you. When you observe the thought, you have space. Buddhism often compares the mind to the sky. Thoughts are weather, sometimes bright, sometimes stormy. But the sky itself is untouched. You are not the storm, you are the sky. But most people spend their lives chasing every cloud, trying to rearrange the weather. No wonder they feel tired. Imagine what would happen if instead you simply watched. A worried thought appears. You notice it. You don't fight it. You don't analyze it. You don't build a future around it. You just let it drift, like a leaf floating down a stream. This is not indifference. It is freedom. You still take action when action is needed. You still care, but you stop creating unnecessary suffering through interpretation. Because much of what hurts you is not the event itself. It is the meaning you attach to it. Two people can experience the same situation. One collapses under it, the other adapts. The difference is often the story. One says, "This proves I'm not enough." The other says, "This is difficult but temporary." Same event, different inner narrative, different life. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can gently loosen your grip on the stories you repeat. And when you do, something surprising happens. Life feels lighter, not because problems disappear, but because you stop turning every moment into a personal verdict. You stop labeling yourself, stop predicting disaster, stop carrying old identities that no longer fit. You become more present, more flexible, more alive. Acceptance is not only letting go of external control, it is also letting go of the inner storyteller who insists on dramatizing everything. You don't need a perfect story to live peacefully. You only need this moment, untangled, unexplained, unburdened, just life as it is. Lesson 6. Return to this moment again and again. If you look closely at your suffering, you may notice something surprising. Most of it is not happening now. It is happening in memory or imagination. You replay what already happened. You rehearse what might happen. You analyze what should have happened. And while all of this thinking feels urgent and important, your actual life is quietly passing by, untouched, right here, right now. This moment, the one you are breathing in, is usually simple, ordinary, even peaceful. But the mind rarely stays. It wanders backward. It rushes forward. It searches for problems to solve, as if stillness were dangerous, as if presence were laziness. So even when nothing is wrong, you feel tense. Even when you are safe, you feel threatened, because psychologically you are somewhere else. Buddhist wisdom returns again and again to one gentle truth. Peace is only ever found here, not in the past, not in the future, here. Yet this sounds almost too simple. If it were that easy, everyone would be calm. But presence is not difficult because it is complex. It is difficult because the mind is addicted to control. The past feels controllable because you can analyze it endlessly. The future feels controllable because you can plan it endlessly. But this moment asks you to surrender, to stop managing, to stop fixing, to simply be. And for many people, that feels unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. So they keep thinking, keep scrolling, keep worrying, anything to avoid the quiet of now. But here is something to try, something very small, something you can do anywhere. When you feel overwhelmed, don't try to solve your whole life. Don't try to make big decisions. Don't try to control everything at once. Instead, gently ask, what is actually happening right now? Not the story, not the prediction, just reality. Maybe you are sitting in a chair, breathing, hearing distant sounds, feeling your feet on the floor. That's it. Notice how manageable this moment is. Not your entire week, not your entire future, just this breath. Most moments are surprisingly okay when you meet them directly. It is the mind's commentary that makes them heavy. The Buddha often taught mindfulness not as a philosophy, but as a practice of returning, again and again, because the mind will wander. Of course it will. That's what minds do. The goal is not to force it to stay. The goal is simply to notice and come back, like gently guiding a child by the hand, back to the breath, back to the body, back to what is real. You might feel the air entering your nose, the rise of your chest, the warmth of your hands. These sensations are anchors. They exist only in the present. They cannot exist in yesterday or tomorrow. So whenever you feel lost in overthinking, you can come home to them. No special conditions needed, no perfect environment required. Just one conscious breath, then another. Over time, this becomes a quiet refuge. Life will still change. People will still disappoint you. Plans will still shift. But instead of being pulled endlessly into mental storms, you will have somewhere steady to stand. Right here. You begin to trust something simple. I don't need to control everything to be okay. I only need to meet this moment fully. Because life is not lived in big dramatic chapters. It is lived in small, ordinary seconds. Drinking water, walking down a street, listening to someone speak, watching light move across a wall. When you are present, even these simple things feel rich, alive, enough. But when you are trapped in thought, even the most beautiful life feels distant. So acceptance in the end is not about convincing yourself that everything is fine. It is about stopping the constant escape from now. It is about saying, this moment is where my life is happening. Let me be here for it. Not later, not when everything is solved. Now. You may still plan, still remember, still reflect, but you no longer live there. You live here, breath by breath, step by step, moment by moment. And strangely, this is where freedom has always been waiting, not in control, but in presence. You cannot control the changing seasons of your life. You cannot hold every outcome in your hands, but you can soften. You can breathe. You can meet each moment with awareness instead of resistance. These 6 lessons are not rules to master or standards to live up to. They are gentle reminders, small returns, quiet ways of coming home to yourself again and again. So tomorrow morning, don't try to change everything. Just choose one lesson, one breath, one softer response. Begin there and begin again. If this reflection brought you even a little clarity or peace, you're always welcome here. Subscribe to Mindfulness for more gentle teachings, Buddhist wisdom, and calm practices to help you live with less overthinking and more presence. Thank you for spending this time with me. May you let go of what you cannot control. May you trust life a little more. And may you walk forward lightly.